Make some noise if you're a world changer. Oh, it's an honor to be here, and who's excited for tomorrow? Yes. Woo, it's going to be good, good, good. I want to thank my upline leaders who were copying their leadership. Chad and Natita Chong, thank you guys so much for, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget we got on that private Zoom this summer. I was driving Uber, and I'll share my story in a little bit, kind of more detail, but I wasn't looking for network marketing again. But when Chad asked me the question, he said, if you knew that in the next 3 years, there would be an emerging technology market worth $34 billion. And if you could have the #1 product in that entire market space, would you want to know more about it? And I said, yeah, of course. And I didn't know what he was going to talk to me about. All I knew is Chad and Natita, Nat Janita were in Asia breaking records. And my buddy Rodrigo called and said, have you heard what they're doing? I said, no. He said, you need to talk to them. And I didn't know what they were about to talk to me about. I didn't know if it was going to be some, magic weight loss pill where, you lost 30 pounds in 30 minutes, Or, some anti-aging cream where you look 18 years old in 18 seconds. Or some magic juice from the Amazons that'll cure your marriage with 1 sip. I didn't know. I had no idea. But out of relationship and friendship, I said, man, I want to hear what's happening. And was blown away. And for Nat and Janita, your guys' leadership, it's funny because, North America, people, we're, products behind, we're shipping people. Well, I can't do anything until I have my product. And thank God we've led with your story. We've led with your story because we've told everybody that all you guys had was a PDF, a piece of paper with a picture for months of this kilo that didn't exist yet. No one had it. And yet you broke records in the industry. And so your guys' story of paving the way was absolutely incredible. And even though we're not in the same lineage of sponsorship, Ramasio Pulcher came in and set the pace, first president millionaire in North America, raised the bar of what was possible, and helped spur me into thinking bigger and taking bigger action. So thankful for all of the leadership in North America. I believe that this group of people right here in this room are the absolute most important parts of the foundation of where this company is going. I believe that our role together in this company is as important as the role of this device. What this device is to the marketplace from a product perspective, we are to the marketplace from a leadership perspective. Without the Hilo, there is no business. There is no future, but without you and I, there is no business, there is no future. You're it, you are the foundation. And I believe that because this company is such a pioneering company, I believe when I say we're attracting prepared people, what I mean by that is we are attracting people like you and I who have been through some things. Raise your hand if you've been through some things. Raise your hand if you've ever been done with network marketing. And yet I believe that what we've been through has prepared us as a team of leaders to help take this company to a multi-billion-dollar company. I'm going to come down here. There, that's better. There's a story that I love to share about a young boy that had a dream of being a professional baseball player. And he was in his backyard one day imagining that he was in the World Series. That he was about to win the World Series. It was the 9th inning. His team was down by 1 point. The bases were loaded. And he was up to bat. This was his moment to win the game and win the World Series. So he steps up to the plate as young boy's doing. He's imagining the crowd around him, and he grabs his baseball, his wiffle ball and his wiffle bat. And he looks around at the crowd. He imagines the stadium filled with people. And he throws the ball up in the air and he swings, takes his first swing. Shoo. Nothing but air. The ball falls to the ground. And he's not worried. He has 2 more tries. So he reaches down, he grabs the ball and throws it up in the air and catches it a couple of times and closes his eyes and he looks around at the imaginary crowd of people. He takes a second swing, he throws the ball up in the air and pulls back and he swings and shoo, strike 2, the ball falls to the ground. Well, now it's do or die, right? If he strikes out, he loses the game. So he grabs the ball a 3rd time. This time he really concentrates. He knows this is it. He looks around at the crowd. He imagines the crowd, the stadium on the edge of their seats. This is his chance to win the game. He throws the ball up in the air for his last swing. He pulls back with everything he has and shoot. Strike 3. The ball falls to the ground. Before I tell you the rest of the story, how many of you have ever struck out before? He reaches down, he grabs the ball, he throws it up in the air, and he says, one day, I'm going to be the greatest pitcher that ever played the game of baseball. Right? He just struck himself out. Sometimes it takes a simple paradigm shift and what looked like the strike. See, in my last company, I thought it was my 6-figure a month, 7-figure a month win. I thought my last company was my last ride. I thought it was the one. I went all in. Heart, soul, mind, energy, belief. I said, this is it. Only to strike out, only to have the company drop the ball, only to realize it wasn't it. Watch this. What I thought was my harvest season was actually my preparation season. Are you with me? The place where I thought was going to be the one. The land of milk and honey, it turned out to be in that time, the hardest disappointment of my life, but the most necessary part of my journey. Right? Pain is a necessary gift that nobody wants. Pain is a necessary gift that nobody wants. Are you with me? How many of y'all been through some things? I believe we go through what we go through because of what we've asked for. Let me say it again. We go through what we go through because of what we asked for. If you asked for little, you would have gone through little. But because you and I asked for much, we had to go through some things that others didn't have to go through. Are you with me? We had to have leaders hurt us so we wouldn't be the leader hurting others. Right? We had to have somebody lie to us so we'd approach our team with truth and honesty. Right? Because it prepared us at a deeper level to be a part of this movement here today. See, I believe the number one fruit, the number one root, the number one of this company, of Fabia, is courage. I believe to take on the technology industry man, it'd be a whole lot easier to make shakes. We wouldn't have back-ordered lotion. Right? But we're pioneers, and it takes courage to go first, doesn't it? Yeah. Maya Angelou says of all of the attributes in the world, courage is number one most important. She said some would say it was love. Some would say it was honesty. Some would say it was forgiveness. She said, but I say it's courage. She said, because without courage, you cannot love. And without courage, you cannot forgive.
Yes.
And without courage, you cannot be honest and vulnerable. So courage is really the ultimate attribute. When I look at the blood flow, the DNA of this company, it's courage. It's courage. And I believe we're attracting leaders that have the courage to lead through this process. Yes?
Yes.
I made a decision early on in this business, and thank God I did. And I want to encourage you to maybe do the same thing. My decision was to spend zero energy on resistance.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Zero energy. In other words, technology, it's always changing. I'm done overcoming objections. If you watch this 2-minute video and 5-minute video and you get on a webinar and you don't see it, I can't help you yet. It's not your time. You're not a part of this phase of the movement. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Because if you're a visionary, you get it.
Yes.
I need to run with people. When I look beside me, they're running with us, right?
Right.
They're carrying this movement. We're not carrying them. 12 months, 24 months, 30, we'll have social proof, we'll have all those, it'll be done. But right now, we are first to market. Right now, we're in that early adopters phase. We're in that visionary phase. And we're disrupting 2 industries. We're disrupting the network marketing industry. And we're disrupting the technology space. It takes courageous vision. When I got the call and got on the webinar with Chad and Natita this summer, and we went through this long PowerPoint presentation, I was driving for Uber because my kids, my daughter and my son, had to get back to private school. And I needed $2,500 to get them back to private school. I was done with network marketing. I had other businesses that were struggling. I had to borrow the money to get started in World. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Not only borrow the money, I had to wait 2 weeks. I told Chad I'm in, but I don't have the money yet. And I had to go get the money. Driving Uber. Driving Uber. In September, I couldn't launch until after September because I was involved with another personal development project and I was working with a lot of networkers. In fact, Mike Sims spoke at that event. Steve spoke at that event. Stephen Pasha spoke at that John Maxwell event, and I was involved with organizing this event, so I couldn't do another network marketing company, but I took a spot. During that time, my daughter, 17 years old, who's watched the ups and downs of network marketing, 17 years old, she's asking herself this question: is it worth it to dream? Is it worth it to believe? Is it worth it to take risk? Is it worth it to live out of the box? Because my daddy was always the dreamer. My daddy was always the one working harder than everyone else. My daddy was always the one out of the box. Everyone said he was silly for doing it. And now he's driving Uber and we're broke and we don't have money and he's struggling financially. Is it worth it? My 17-year-old daughter said, Dad, This is in September, before I launched. I didn't even tell her that I signed up for a network marketing company. She said, Dad, maybe it's time to get a real job. And there's nothing wrong with a real job. My father had one. He provided for our family through one. But in that moment, everything I needed showed up to go build this business. Because I realized that I was living out a story in front of my kids, and this moment would determine what my daughter believed about herself, about dreaming, about believing, about betting on yourself. And I realized I got to go win in this business, not just for me, but because of who's watching.
Yep.
Who's got some people watching you? Who's got some people watching you? And I got to tell you, I didn't build this business for me. Oh, it feels good. It feels good. My father, who I borrowed the money from to get in this business, who's a pastor on making very minimal money, owed the IRS tens of thousands of dollars in taxes. Yeah, it felt good to write him the check and wire the money a couple months ago. Yeah, it felt good. It felt good when and this is tragic, but this is when my brother passed away a few weeks ago with undiagnosed diabetes.
Wow.
And my poor family, poverty family, couldn't afford the funeral. And I was able to say, I've got that part covered. It felt amazing. Yeah, that's a payoff. But let me tell you the real payoff. The real payoff is that my daughter cannot wait to turn 18 on July 6th so that she can become a distributor of World Global Network. And look, not because I want her to go to school, I want her to be able to do things I was able to do and follow her other dreams, but the fact that she believes in it again. That's the electricity for me. The fact that, are you with me, that we finished a story that without World Global Network would have had a really bad ending to it. I believe in this room right now there are some unfinished stories.
Yeah, that's right.
I believe in this room right now there are some disappointments, but the disappointments are temporary. They were only disappointments because your story isn't over yet. And I believe this company is a company that's going to allow people to finish their unwritten stories. Are you with me? People that have been disappointed, people who, for the first time in so long, I can look anyone in the eyes and say, I can help you make money. And believe it and know it. To share a 2-minute video, are you with me? To be able to move this product without even, I've not even enrolled anybody in Louisiana where I live. People say, well, my product has arrived. I've never once demoed my product. Half the time when I wear it, the battery's dead. It's true, because I travel so much.
Same.
But the vision, this is what Nat and Shanita imparted into all of us. Lead with vision. Lead with vision. Lead with vision. Because we are a category creator. We are pioneers. We've been through some things that, yes, they hurt, but they were necessary. Yes, it went deep, but we had to go deep to get to where we are now, to be able to lead from where we are now. I believe there are some unfinished stories in this room and in your team and in this world that we're going to get to reach out to and literally lead them into financial freedom. Believe with everything inside of me. And I look back over everything I went through in my journey. The disappointments, the ups, the downs. And I am so thankful for every single moment looking back now. Remember this morning when Fabio held up the phone? And he saw something we didn't see because he was looking at the other side of the phone.
Yeah.
I think we need to have a paradigm shift about our own story sometimes.
Amen.
And turn our own phone around. And instead of looking at the back of the thing and the pain and the hurt, turn it around and say, but what's the beautiful picture in it? I'll leave you with this story. My grandmother shared this with me many years ago. She loved to sew. She loved to, she would take the, I don't even know what it's called, but the plastic, and she would take the needle and the thread, and she would get the yarn, and she would weave it through, and she would make these pictures. And I'll never forget my grandma. My grandma's 102, 103 years old now. My little Italian grandmother. And I was a teenager when she showed me this. She said, Jeremy, oftentimes this is life. And she showed me this picture she made. It was so beautiful. And she turned it over. And she said, this is the finished picture. But what you don't see, and she turned it over, and there was all the knots and the strings that didn't make sense. There's no pattern to it. Things were tied here and cut off here. And on the back side, it looks so ugly. There's no picture. There's no beauty to it.
Yeah, true.
But on the other side, it was this masterful, beautiful piece of art. See, it doesn't matter. I'm not a religious person, but I do believe that every one of us are great. I believe that every one of us are beautiful. I believe that everything you've been through is a masterpiece that's preparing this portrait called your life. In fact, I believe that in this particular movement, it was necessary for you and I to go through some of the things that we went through to prepare us for our role in the growth and the future of this company. And I believe tonight when we lay our head on the pillow, every one of us ought to be thankful for everything we've gone through before showing up here into WGN. Because some of those darkest things were the most necessary, powerful parts of your story. So love you guys. Thanks for letting me share.